Today's episode is inspired from my self-care society class titled Loving All That Is. And the quote comes from Lao Tzu and says, "Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you." So man, I feel like this feeling of content, right? Like we've been talking a lot in our kind of current episodes, spaciousness and simplicity and contentness. And these things are not necessarily the initial emotions people go to when they think about what they desire, right? We tend to go towards these more bold emotions like excited or ignited or whatever it is. But to me, these are the things that are really drawing us into peace, right? Content. Like at the end of the day, to feel content is so beautiful. So, how does a dictionary define content? Well, in a state of peaceful happiness, a state of satisfaction. What more do you need? A state of peaceful happiness, a state of satisfaction? I mean, that's how I want to live my life. So, we're going to do our pause and practice. I'm going to invite you to really embody this peaceful happiness, this contentness in your body, as if you're an actor or an actress. Okay. So if it feels good, you can close your eyes. Try it on. What does it feel like? What does feeling content feel like in your body? What do you envision when you see yourself content? Okay. So I'm going to give you a bit of a visualization that should help. So I want you to imagine yourself in a place that evokes peace and happiness within you. Okay. So look around and I want you to witness what you see. Where are you? What do you notice? What's the weather like? What do you hear? Is there anyone with you? I want you to notice where you're sitting or standing or laying. How does that feel? What are you wearing? How do the clothes feel on your body? Notice these things, these little things in this content moment. And whenever you're ready, you can take a deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. And I want you to just notice how you feel in this very moment. If you can truly align with a sense of feeling content. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and carry this energy, this peaceful, this calm, beautiful, mellow energy with you into your day. Okay? So let's talk about the feeling of content. Like, how often do you look around and say to yourself, wow, I am really content? For me, I can gratefully and honestly say that I feel this often these days, and especially when I am slowing down, when I'm removing myself from the rat race, and when I'm just staying as present as possible. And I love personal growth and development. So it can be tricky to really find that balance between chasing goals and what we want in the future, while also staying present and grateful for what's there. But there is this sweet spot that exists and it's accessible to all of us. And the key I've found is really slowing down enough to witness it. Every morning when I make my list of gratitude, I'm forced to witness what's right in front of me, right? And to feel really content with what's right in front of me. And whenever I pause for enough time, when I put down my phone and when I silence the noise, I can really honor that life is really sweet. And when I think about what a content moment looks like for me, like I see myself, I'm on the back patio, I'm meandering in my garden, my dogs are exploring by my side. My partner's maybe watching over us, smiling. There's nowhere to be. And I'm just living really simply in a way that buys me more and more of these very moments. So I want you to think about, what do you think of when you picture a content moment? And we'll dig into more of this in our exercises to help you go there in this episode. But I want to give you a few tips first. All right, 3 tips for feeling content. First is to notice. It sounds simple, but if you never actually pause to notice how you feel in any given moment, then it's impossible to know what actions or experiences will bring you to a content place. So you can even set a few alarms throughout the day that remind you to pause and to just notice. Okay. The second thing, it's practicing gratitude. It's an obvious tip, and you're going to hear it from me often, but that's because it's such a powerful tool. Practicing gratitude helps us look at what's good that's right in front of us. We get out of the searching mindset that is looking for what's next, and we enter into the present right now, right in front of us. Another tip is to paint a picture of a most content day. Okay, so maybe it's been a long time since you've felt truly content, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that you can't tap into your inner wisdom and ask yourself, what does that look like for you? Okay, that's the way to get there, right? So if you were to tell a story of a day where you felt deeply content, how would that good day go, right? Like, what would you do? What would you experience? So let's practice feeling more content together with some exercises straight from Self Care Society classes. As always, we'll pause to give you a moment to think, but feel free to stop the recording if you need more time to ponder or write. You'll also hear inspiring examples from our live classes too. You can join us for a full schedule of live and on-demand classes at selfcaresociety.co. All right, so we have 4 exercises today, and our first is a reflection exercise called Isn't It Lovely? I want you to think about your life right now and what's lovely in it, okay? And you can use the prompt, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, to free write about what's wonderful. So the prompt is, isn't it lovely that ... So my examples, I said, isn't it lovely that I get to work from home and be with my family and tune into my needs? Isn't it lovely to have so many options for food in our cabinets? Isn't it lovely to know how to grow food for my family? And so on. So for you, when you think about this prompt, isn't it lovely that? What comes to mind? Mackenzie says, isn't it lovely that I am confident in who I am and my value despite my circumstances being really challenging? Annie says, isn't it lovely that we have the time and flexibility and support to care for our mind, body, and spirits? Beautiful. So the next thing we'll practice is some gratitude. As I've told you, this is an incredibly important and powerful part of feeling content. And this one is called Content Today. So I want you to just think about your day today. Take some time to write gratitude for the things that exist in your life, okay? So don't overcomplicate this. It's really just whatever you feel. So my examples, thank you for the flexibility to take care of things on my to-do list. Thank you for my daughter's patience while I worked out this morning. Thank you for the rain watering our dry desert landscape. So what are you feeling grateful for today? What can you look at in your life or around you and say, yeah, I'm grateful, I'm content for this. Natalia says, thank you to my body for showing me when something is off. Kimberly says, thank you for a beautiful sense of well-being tonight. Cindy says, thank you for the technology that allows me to see my grandchildren in real time. Beautiful. So our next exercise is a self-love exercise called I'm Proud of Me. And we are going to turn this gratitude around to ourselves. So what are you proud of yourself for today? Okay, so my examples, I am proud of myself for taking action on a few things that I've let linger. I'm proud of myself for being such a present mother. I'm proud of myself for reading my book when I was tempted to scroll social media. I'm proud of myself for being supported by my partner to get some extra sleep. All right, so what is it for you? What can you find? I know that it can feel challenging to express that pride in ourselves, but it's so important. And I promise you there are many things you can find. Annie says, I'm proud of myself for cooking the breakfast I've been craving. Jess says, I'm proud of myself for not trying to have all the answers in a work meeting, saying, let me check in with my colleague and come back to you. Paula says, I'm proud of myself for looking at last minute cancellations in my work schedule as an intended gift of rest and reflection. Wow. I love it. So, for our final exercise, we're going to do a manifestation exercise called Consciously Content. And I want you to use the prompt I'm going to share with you to envision a day in your future life where you feel extra content. And I want you to allow yourself to dream, imagining that you are looking around at your life, feeling so content and taking note of what exists for you. Okay. So you can use the prompt, I am so content with life right now, dot, 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 and see what comes out. So my example, I am so content with life right now. I'm sitting on our patio and the weather is perfect. My little ones run and play in the backyard, contagious giggles all over. The garden is in full bloom and the smells are heavenly. My clothing is comfortable and I feel so healthy in my body. My days are mostly slow and unscheduled, and so on. Okay, so permission here to dream up the most content moments for yourself. What does that look like when you really lean into that feeling of content? When you think about a vision of a really content moment in your life, what do you see? And now we're going to hear from Noelle.
I'm so content with life right now. It's another beautiful evening in our cozy little home. My partner and pups are snoozing away, and the cool evening breeze blows by. We found so much joy through hosting loved ones at a space of our own and feel so nourished by connection. It's encouraged us both to invite people over more often and also savor time together, curating our green space and tinkering. I am so in awe of how beautiful this life is and am encouraged to keep looking a little closer when it feels far away.
Thank you so much, Noelle. All right, so content looks differently for each of us, but we all deserve it, that's for sure. And it's easy to want to strive for bigger and bolder emotions like ecstatic or excited or ignited, as I mentioned. And while those are all great, it's often also a great gift to ourselves to cultivate calmer energy and experiences too. So I am really wishing you a lovely and content day in whatever way that looks like for you. Thank you so much for joining me today on your morning mindset practice. I hope you're feeling more content. I'd love to have you join us at selfcaresociety.co for a live or on-demand class so you can stay consistent with your self-care, connect with other like-minded people, and continue filling your cup so you can overflow onto the world. We need you. I'll see you next time.